Miss Paulsano, ma'am, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señora Palzano, buenos días. ¿Puede usted oír y entender a la intérprete?
Sí,
Yes.
Ma'am, this is your first appearance hearing. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a judge of the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Señora, esta audiencia es su comparecencia inicial. Yo soy el licenciado Brad Gardner. Soy un juez aquí en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
We're not here to have a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
No estamos aquí para tener el juicio en su caso, tampoco para que usted manifieste una declaración a acusaciones.
I'm here to tell you the offenses that have been alleged against you.
Estoy aquí para informarle de las infracciones o delitos que se le, de las cuales se le acusa,
To tell you of any future court dates,
para informarle de sus audiencias futuras
and to see if you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también para determinar si usted requiere la ayuda de un abogado.
ok.
Ma'am,
Okay.
you're charged with one count of obstructing an officer. I've set the
Señora,
bond at $1,000.
a usted se le acusa de una infracción de obstrucción a un agente de policía. La fianza para esa infracción es $1,000.
You're also charged with one count of driving a vehicle while unlicensed. I've also set the bond at $1,000.
También se le acusa de manejar un vehículo sin licencia. La fianza para esa infracción es $1,000.
These bonds, I'm sorry, one additional charge, driving on the wrong side of the road, and I've set a bond at $500.
Y una infracción adicional de manejar en el sentido contrario, y la fianza para esa infracción es $500.
These bonds may be posted in one of three ways.
Las fianzas se pueden depositar en una de tres maneras.
First, you can pay the entire amount of the bond in cash to the sheriff's department.
La primera manera es pagar el total a la fianza en efectivo en el departamento del sheriff.
They will hold that money and then return it to you when your case is over.
Guardarán el dinero y luego se lo devolverán una vez que el caso se haya concluido.
Ok,
You can
pero el total entonces ¿cuánto sería? No.
Okay, but the total amount, then how much would that be?
I'm gonna answer any question that you may have, but there's certain things I must tell you. So just hold that question and I will respond to it, okay?
Voy a contestar todas las preguntas que tenga, pero sí puede esperar hasta que yo termine y luego le puedo atender sus preguntas.
Oh, ok, perfecto.
Okay.
You can go through a bonding company where they will charge you a fee based on your bond amount.
O la segunda manera es tramitar la fianza a través de una agencia de fianzas y con eso ellos le cobran una tarifa.
And that bond amount is generally, or that fee is generally between 10 to 12% of your bond.
La tarifa suele ser entre un 10 y 20% de lo que es la fianza total.
There are, I believe, at least 5 bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in Clayton County.
Creo aquí en el condado de Clayton existen por lo menos 5 agencias de fianzas que tienen la autorización de tramitar las fianzas aquí en este condado.
I would encourage you to check with each one to get the best rate.
Le animo a averiguar con cada compañía para conseguir la mejor tarifa.
Finally, you can use property to post your bond.
La última manera es usar una propiedad para tramitar su fianza.
The property will have to have a net worth of at least 3 times the bond amount.
La propiedad tiene que tener un patrimonio neto de por lo menos 3 veces lo que es el valor de la fianza.
The sheriff's department will place a lien on that property and then remove the lien when your case is over.
El departamento del sheriff le impone un gravamen en la propiedad y luego una vez que el caso se haya concluido, le sacan el gravamen.
I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
También voy a programar su audiencia preliminar para el 3 de enero a las 8:30 de la mañana.
This date will be waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Esta audiencia se renunciará una vez que sale bajo fianza y luego le notificarán por correo de la próxima audiencia.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford one.
Tiene derecho a un abogado para representarla, aunque no tiene los medios para contratar uno.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera que yo determine que usted reúne requisitos para el nombramiento de un abogado de oficio, señora.
Ajá. Sí.
Ajá. Yes.
I'm going to find that you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Determino entonces que usted efectivamente cumple los criterios y le voy a designar un abogado de oficio.
Finally, before I get to your question, I want to inform you of certain rights.
Por último, antes de atender su pregunta, señora, necesito informarle de sus derechos.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence.
Tiene el derecho a ser presunta inocente.
You have a right to be charged by accusation for these charges.
Tiene derecho a que proceden en su contra con una acusación cuando se trata de estas acusaciones.
You have a right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Tiene el derecho a ver, a escuchar y a contrainterrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf.
Tiene derecho a obligar que se presenten testigos para que declaren a su favor.
You have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense.
Tiene usted el derecho a declarar usted misma en defensa propia o presentar pruebas.
And you've taken advantage of the opportunity to have a lawyer appointed.
Y usted ya ha tomado ventaja de la oportunidad de que le nombren un abogado de oficio.
Before I ask you to repeat your question, I just want to let you know that these proceedings are being recorded.
Antes de permitirle hacer su pregunta, le tengo que informar que esta sesión se está grabando.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Así que usted tiene derecho a permanecer callada sin decir nada.
But if you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding can be used against you.
Pero si renuncia a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga se puede usar en su contra en cualquier audiencia posterior.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que le pido no hable, por favor, de los hechos de su caso.
Now, you had a question about bond.
Ahora, usted tenía una pregunta, sobre la fianza.
O si le digo que entonces, ¿cuánto sería el total?
Yes, I was saying, so how much would the total be?
It's $2,500.
El total sería $2,500.
The sheriff's department is required to add fees, so it may be a little bit higher than that.
Al departamento de sheriff se le requiere agregar tarifas adicionales, así que puede ser un poco más alto.
Do you have any other questions for me?
¿Tiene alguna otra pregunta para mí, señora?
O si es que la verdad, como nunca he estado en un problema de esto, ¿verdad? Es la primera vez que se me hizo fácil agarrar el carro. ¿O se tienen que entregar todos completos?
The thing is, since I've never been in a problem like this before, I was not sure. Do I have to pay it all?
No, ma'am.
No, señora.
If you go through a bonding company, it'll probably be about $300.
Si tramita la fianza a través de una agencia de fianzas, probablemente le van a cobrar unos $300.
But you would have to contact them directly.
Pero usted tendría que hablar directamente con la agencia de fianzas.
Pero la agencia de fianzas habla mexicano porque no sé inglés.
And would the bonding company speak Spanish? Because I don't know.
Most do, but again, I don't work for the bonding company.
La mayoría de las compañías sí, pero es que no trabajo para las compañías de fianzas. Así que.
Any other questions?
¿Alguna pregunta más?
Ajá, y pagando la fianza me iría a mi casa o cómo?
So paying the bond, then I would go home? Or...
Yes, ma'am.
Sí, señora.
Lo que pasa que ahí tengo un guardadito que yo guardé, nos íbamos a ir a México y yo tengo un guardadito que pues eso lo íbamos a ocupar en sí, vamos a salir pasado mañana para México. Y yo creo que ya no voy a poder salir así, ¿verdad que no?
Well, the thing is, I have a bit saved that I was keeping to be able to go to Mexico. Actually, we were planning on going day after tomorrow, but I'm not going to be able to leave now, right?
You will be able to leave today if you make the arrangements to postpone.
Puede salir de la cárcel hoy mismo si usted hace los trámites para salir bajo fianza.
Ok, pero a México sí podré ir o ya no para, porque ya ponemos boletos
Okay.
para que los cancelen, por favor.
Okay, but leaving for Mexico, I will no longer be able to do that, right? Because I need to call and cancel the tickets if that's the case.
Y- how best I can say this? You will not be prevented from going to Mexico based upon these charges.
A usted no se le prohíbe ir a México con estas acusaciones, por esas acusaciones.
Ok, pero el día 3 tengo la audiencia y voy a venir aquí mismo, es que no sé, estoy así como...
Okay, but on the 3rd, I have the hearing and I'll come back here. The thing
No,
is, I don't
ma'am.
know.
If you post your bond today, that hearing date will be waived and you will receive a new court date in the mail for a much later date.
No, señora. Si usted tramita la fianza hoy mismo, saldría en libertad hoy y luego le mandarán la fecha de su próxima audiencia por correo y será una fecha mucho más adelante.
Ok, entonces yo creo que voy a pagar todo mejor porque tengo uno que había juntado para llevar a México, ¿verdad? Pero pues si se ocupa aquí, pues mejor lo pago aquí, pues ya en México pues ya no gasto, o sea, no sé.
Okay. So I think I'm just going to pay it all here. I mean, I had a bit of money that I was saving to take to Mexico, but I think I'll just, if it's needed here, then I'll pay it here. And then in Mexico, I'll just, está bien.
Yeah, speak with your loved ones and do what you believe is best for you.
Hable entonces con sus seres queridos y haga lo que más le convenga, señora.
Ajá, ¿y dónde voy a pagar ese dinero?
Okay, and where do I pay that money? Here?
Yes, you'll need to speak to someone in the sheriff's department to make appropriate arrangements to go through bonding.
Sí.
However, go ahead.
Tendrá que hablar con alguien en el departamento del sheriff para hacer los arreglos de hacer la fianza.
¿Y cuál es el departamento del
And what
sheriff?
is the sheriff's department?
Okay, you're in the sheriff's department right now.
Usted ahora está dentro del departamento del sheriff.
Ok,
Oh, okay.
If your plan is to pay the money, you're going to have to make arrangements with the loved one to bring the money up to bonding.
Si su intención es pagar el dinero, entonces tendrá que hacer arreglos con un ser querido para que lleve el dinero al departamento de fianzas.
ok.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Bueno, señora, ya puede retirarse. Gracias.
Sí, gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tolles. Have a good day. It was great to see you.
Great to see you as well. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great one.
You too. Okay, let's bring up Mr. Brown.
Sir, stand right here. Sir. Sir. Hey.
Mr. Brown, sir, you're charged with one count of making an unlawful 911 call. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
My bad, sir. My bad, sir.
That's fine. If it's okay with you, Mr. Brown, can I appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, make sure you stay in contact with that lawyer. That lawyer is going to contact you unless you bond out, contact you at the jail unless you bond out here today. Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
So what's the message time at?
Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, you're charged with one misdemeanor count of theft by shoplifting. The bond is automatically set at $2,000. I'm going to, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived once you bond out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Is it okay for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you? Is it okay for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. I'm gonna, yes, sir. You're not gonna have to pay anything. Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back. Okay, once we're set, I'm gonna read the script and then we can get started with the remaining people. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf. I think we lost the lady side. Give me 1 second. Let's see if they'll come back up. Yes, we lost their feed.
Yeah, Your Honor, they're trying, the plug got ejected, they're working on it now. If you want to go ahead and do the bail side, I'm sure they'll come back up and.
Okay, I'll do that. To testify on your own behalf or offer evidence of your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you're currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You'll receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, would everyone raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's begin with Ruby Bates. Mr. Bates, sir, you're charged with one count of felony possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. I've set a bond in this case in the amount of $10,000. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning, and that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. About how much do you make per hour?
$19.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Let's try to go back over to the lady side since we only have 3 over there. Let's Miss Donita James. Miss James, ma'am, you're charged with one count of unlawful conduct on a 911 call. This is a misdemeanor offense. I've set the bond at $1,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you still have the same lawyer that I appointed to you last time?
I've never been here, Your Honor.
You've not?
No. And I was wanting to see if I could get out for my own recognizance because I don't have a criminal history and I've never been here.
I could have sworn. Hold on, give me a second.
No, I just moved here, so I've never been here. And Your Honor, they filed a police report on that charge. So it really wasn't I'm 51. I know not to unlawful calls. And I'm just wanting to let you know that it was a death threat. So they did do a police report on it.
Okay. I am going to deny your request for a own recognizance bond. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions?
What is the bond gonna be?
$1,000, and you can post that bond by cash, commercial, or property. If you go through a bonding company, it'll be about $150.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Mitchell. Yes, I'm sorry. I had to switch back to the screen. Miss Mitchell, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. You're also charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Terry Carson. Do you understand that, ma'am? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. How much would it be like to bail me out today?
It'll probably be between $600 and $700 through a bonding company.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Mr. Zeno. Mrs. Zeno, I'm sorry. Ms. Zeno, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. This is a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. You're also charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. That's a misdemeanor. And I'm also setting the bond at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from cardial lackey. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. All right. From my records, that completes the ladies' side. Okay, let's switch back over to the male side with Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Kennedy. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. I've set the bond at $1,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? You said no?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I'm sorry, I confused you. You're free to go back, sir. Is that Mr. Henderson? Mr. Henderson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor theft by taking and 1 count of financial transaction card theft, and that is a felony offense. Well, it's supposed to be a felony offense. I'm gonna set a bond of $2,000 on the theft by taking and $5,000 on a financial transaction card theft. They're writing it up as a misdemeanor, so I am going to set a preliminary hearing date for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. McQuarrie.
Yes. Sir.
Yes, Mr. McQuarrie, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor offense. I'm setting the bond at $1,000. And you're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor possession of marijuana. And bond is automatically set at $1,500. You're You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Qualify for president of a lawyer?
For the appointment of a lawyer, do you want me to give you a lawyer?
And that's what's the, either that's for a trade of property or what about the lawyer?
That's
Is it the free lawyer?
It's a free lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Sorry, the court date is today?
No.
Today is your first appearance. There's a court date set for January 3rd.
Okay.
If you bond out, that date will be waived, and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Okay.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back. Mr. Mitchell.
Sir?
Mr. Mitchell, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $100. I'm sorry, $1,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Ashley Thomas. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find you qualified, Mr. Mitchell. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, if you have a criminal trespassing, does it still stand if you live at that same place currently?
Okay, so this is not that you were at a place that you were not supposed to be. That's one form of criminal trespass. You're being charged with criminal trespass for putting her clothes outside and in her clothes being damaged. So that's another form of criminal trespass. Interfering with another person's use of their property. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims, sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're also charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Shaquria Tolbert. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You are free to go back if you don't have any questions for me. Mr. Sylvester.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Mr. Sylvester, sir, you're charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property. This is being charged as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. DeAndre Thomas. Mr. DeAndre Thomas, sir, you're charged with one count of armed robbery. This is
No.
who are you, DeAndre Thomas?
DONDRE. No,
DeAndre Kamari Thomas.
I not armed robbery. No, sir, not me.
That's your name.
Okay.
My name
Are you
is
Eric? Are you Eric Thomas?
No, I'm DeAndre Thomas.
Those are your charges. That's what you're charged with, sir.
I got driving with a split license.
Listen, that's on there too, but you got charged with armed robbery as well. So I was like, let me get through it and we'll go through it. Okay, just hold on a second. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Thomas, you're charged with armed robbery, and this is one of those offenses that I cannot set bond. Just so you know, this warrant was obtained yesterday afternoon, and it involves an allegation of a theft of a Samsung Galaxy A32, the property of Cavante Moore. And it says that you did that by the use of a gun. So that's the allegation. Sir, you're standing here as an innocent person, but I got to tell you what you're charged with, so that if you want me to appoint a lawyer, the first words out of your mouth should be addressing what I just told you.
Yes, sir.
To the lawyer, okay? There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Cavante Monroe. You're charged also with loitering or prowling, which is a misdemeanor offense, and bond is going to be set for that offense at $1,000. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for January 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. Now, sometimes they don't have the bond hearing before us. They'll have it before one of the presiding Superior Court judges, because this charge could potentially carry life. So the DA's office will make that determination as to whether they believe this is serious enough to go up to there, or they may change charge. Okay.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
I got picked up yesterday by Clayton County for FTA in Henry County.
Okay.
My charge was OR. I got an OR bond for driving on a suspended license. That was here in Clayton County. That's the only charge that I had yesterday when I came in, sir.
Okay.
My name is DONDREKAMIR Thomas.
That's who we have.
Yes, sir.
I'll read the charge to you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because I wasn't there. I didn't write this out, but an officer came in and swore this out, saying that they have evidence of this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it says on December 14th at 7:20 in the morning, the allegation is that you did, with the intent to commit theft, take a Samsung Galaxy A32, the property of Cavante Monroe, from the immediate presence of the person Monroe by when you identified by the victim at the scene of the incident and gave a description matching the accused prior to him walking by the incident location. I'm sorry.
You had cut out. We missed
I'm sorry. It says that you were identified by the alleged victim after walking by the incident location. So it says that you, for the loitering, that you were in a place at a manner and time that was unusual for law-abiding citizens, that you observed at 8104 Webb Road apartment complex, where you do not reside and could not provide proof of being given authority to be on the property. So now I hear what you just said, but do you understand that these allegations came by from yesterday morning, 7:20, that's when the allegation was said to have happened?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I understand how it can be bewildering, but all I can do is tell you the charges, appoint a lawyer, so you can begin defending yourself. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Eric Thomas. Mr. Eric Thomas, sir, you charge one count of giving a false name, address, and date of birth, one count of obstructing or hindering law enforcement, one count of driving on an expired tag, one count of an insurance violation, one count of knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended or canceled license, and one count of having a license not on person, and one count of a window tint violation. And these are all misdemeanor offenses. So the bond is going to be set for the giving false name or address at $2,000, for the obstructing or hindering law enforcement, $2,000, for the improper tag, $500, for the insurance violation, $1,000, for knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended or canceled registration, $1,000, for having license not on person, and for the at $500, and the window tint violation at $500. There's going to be a stay away provision. I'm sorry, not a stay away provision. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon you bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see? Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Do we have Mr. Brian Edward Williams?
You do, sir.
Okay, bring up Mr. Williams.
You, sir.
Mr. Williams, so apparently when I got your warrants yesterday, I didn't have a bond order, so I had to write it out. And I was told this morning that I wrote the wrong warrant numbers. So that's why they brought you back. But I have a bond order today, and this stuff is going over so it can get entered in correctly today. Okay? All right. Everything remains the same from yesterday. All right. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Is it Jansen Thomas?
I'm sorry, sir.
I had an add-on, a Mr. Jansen Thomas.
Yeah, he wasn't. We were not made aware of that.
Okay, is this Mr. Roseberry?
This is Roseberry.
Okay. Mr. Roseberry, sir, you have 12 charges against you. All of them are misdemeanors except for one felony. I'm going to tell you the bond amounts, but the total bond amount is going to come out to be $32,500. You charge one count of aggressive driving, bond is set at $500. One count of concealing the ID of a motor vehicle, bond set at $500. One count of driving on an expired license plate or decal, bond is set at $1,500. One count of following too closely, bond is set at $500. One count of fleeing from the police officer, this is the felony, bond is going to be set at $10,000. One count of improper lane change, bond is set at $500. One count of improper turn, bond is set at $500. One count of not having, looks like your headlamp on, bond is set at $500. One count of speeding, the allegation is you were driving 130 miles an hour in that you were driving 130 miles an hour. Although that's a misdemeanor, I'm setting the bond at $10,000. One count of reckless driving, I'm also setting the bond at $10,000. One count of driving on the wrong side of the road, bond is going to be set at $500. And one count of a red light, violation or traffic violation. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Because of the felony, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. Mr. Roseberry, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Now,
Officer, Deputy Morrell was supposed to send, because actually he's the one that told me to add him on today's calendar, Mr. Thomas.
I did not receive an email for him or any notification for him about it at all. If you guys would like to email me, I could try to see if my supervisor can get him done today via cell phone Zoom or add him onto tomorrow's calendar. I was unaware of it.
no problem. It looks like he was arrested on December 13th. I may have a cell. Okay, the cell location, I'll give you the LE number and the cell location. It looks like it says the LE number is 225-8768. And it looks like it says D/waiting or wait. That's the location. Is that something where you can easily go get him?
No. Well, yes and no. So I need to let me hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can look him up real quick in the system.
Okay.
I can see where it's telling me.
You're on live too, Judge.
I'm sorry.
You still should be on live. Are we finished?